couldn't stop cursing all the time.
You've said worse things to me.
But not on camera.
Not on video.
There's no proof.
No proof. Welcome back to No Comics for Old Men.
Yeah, that's good.
The Ginklopa is...
They said, yeah, the memory's the second thing to go. I don't remember what the first thing is.
but the Ginklopa is working, whatever that stuff is.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's, the memory's coming back.
I just drink more beer. It seems to be working.
That's the program I want to try.
That's the next one.
All right, we got a bunch of new independents for this week.
Yeah.
And Ken is back.
Yes, I'm back 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah. Well, last week I actually did one when you weren't here. So it's...
Well, it's still 2 weeks from me in a row.
This is true.
I exist on a different timeline than anybody else.
So Die number 5 came out. This book's pretty hot. Number 1 sold out. And it's in second or third print or whatever. And people are chasing the variant.
Oh yeah, it's a good book. We talked about it the last time we were reviewing.
Yeah.
And it's based on a role-playing game that actually the writer Kieran Gillian created from scratch, which they are. We've discussed it before that they are actually going to eventually release it as a game that you can play. But I mean, as far as the story goes, number 5 continues the story where it's 5 friends from the 90s actually get sucked into the actual reality of the game, and only one of them doesn't come back. And 20 some odd years later, they all meet up again, and they find out what happened to their friend, and they get brought back into the world, and they have to navigate their way through it.
Yeah.
Again,
Art's really cool.
It's really good art by
Writing.
Stephanie Hans. I mean, it's it depends. It's a slow build for sure, and it's not a book that's a jumping on point. It's a book you really need to follow from number 1 to follow the storyline, the character arcs, and that kind of
I'm getting it a little bit more. I missed one. It sold out, so I can't read it unless I read it online. But number 5, very important things happen in number 5 at the end. Big cliffhanger. I'll definitely read number 6.
Yeah.
Art really got cool at the end because they
Yeah.
got some new characters show up.
There's definitely some good stuff without spoiling it. If you
Yeah.
haven't read it, I would definitely say it's worth picking up. It's interesting. It's a different take on comics. As far as I don't really think there's anything really based on a role playing kind of in this realm. I mean, you have Knights at the Dinner Table. It's basically it's been running for I don't know how many years, a long time.
I think they're near 300. They're coming up on number 300.
But that's more reality based. It's about a bunch of people who play role playing games
and their lives.
Yeah, and this is set in the actual game, like if you were sucked into Dungeons and Dragons or something, but much darker.
Yeah.
And really good characters. I mean, the one thing Gillian is really good at doing in any of his books is
building characters,
writing good characters. Yeah. Again, the story takes a while to build up, but this is definitely something that if you're going to read it, you should be in it for the long haul because a lot of different things happen. And more like you have to take it kind of like watching a season of an HBO show or something like that.
Right.
They're going to build over a set of time. And I guess what's the image usually like the same, like 6 issues, and then they take a break. Go to the
they might go to hiatus, get a trade out of the when they get to 6 or 7, depending. Some are, if their sales are good enough. I think this one, number 1 sold so well. This might just run on a continual until it, they go until there's like less than 3,500 subscribers, and then they kind of end it. Yeah.
He has a good track record, so.
I mean, his name, he might get some more. Yeah.
Sure.
So, Ahoy Comics. I don't know if I spoke about this before, about one of their other books called Wrong Earth, which I loved. This one is Bronze Age Boogie. This company, they're not putting out a lot of books, but the books are good. I mean, this one, I don't know, good. The art's good, the writing's good. It's weird.
It's very weird. It has this weird time traveling thing from like the late 70s, and then it jumps to kind of like Bronze Age England or Ireland. Yeah, and
or some place where there's magic and swords and
it's definitely a strange book, and there's like talking monkeys that are part of like some kind of time travel thing in an alternate kind of Planet of the Apes world where the apes are the dominant species. They've evolved separately from
way
humans.
Beyond us.
Yeah, and it's an interesting first issue. It's very out there, very strange, very original. But if you're looking for something different, definitely pick it up, because it's definitely like I do want to read the next issue just to see where the hell they're going with it.
Yeah.
Because it really is out there, and not to the point where you get confused. It has interesting characters and it's setting up stuff. But the one thing I like is they didn't dump too much information on you in the first issue.
Right.
They didn't fill it. They gave you just enough where you were interested in it.
A lot of action, some information, but enough to pique your interest where you're like, I want to know what the background is. Not so much interested as like, I don't care what the background is.
Yeah.
Let's get on with the story. So that's the way I like it.
Now, I haven't read the other book, Wrong Earth, yet, but just from reading this, I kind of want to see what else they're doing, because if it's anywhere near as original as this is, then I would definitely be interested in writing it.
I'm not that familiar with the writer, who is Stuart Moore, or the artist, who is, Alberto
Ponticelli. He's done some stuff. I don't recall what else he's done, but he has worked in comics for quite a while. Stuart Moore, I'm not really familiar with his writing.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a good first issue. Like we said, it does everything a first issue should do. It gets your attention, and it really keeps it through the whole book.
Yeah, the other thing I like is that, so when they go back in time to when you see the Bronze Age, it looks like the Bronze Age, it feels like the Bronze Age, and then when they move forward, like the book changes feels as you go through time, which I thought was really interesting. And that's the integration of comics, is the art and the words. This is my problem with so many things, is that like, the art is just meaningless because you've just written everything.
Yeah.
That's one of my big complaints all the time. This book has got the two really working together really well. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it's good. I would definitely recommend it as well.
Stiletto, and this is off of Lion Forge. It's up and coming. They've been around a little while now. They do a lot of children's stuff.
They have their own superhero line.
Yeah, they have their own superhero line.
It's not bad stuff. I mean, me personally, I don't know, superhero books don't do it for me as much as they used to when we started. I mean, they were my gateway to other comics, but I'm more interested in other stuff. But they do put out really quality books, that being said. And,
Stiletto was, it's like a crime drama. You really don't know what's going on by the end of it, but I'm pretty interested. The art, I'm not a huge fan of. It's kind of art schoolish, like
it's
first year.
More like maybe like, well, also kind of like a Sienkiewicz or like that kind of stuff. A lot of sepia tones, weird, more stylized.
Right, I think they're going for that, but I
darker.
don't think the quality is.
Oh no, it definitely. I mean, not to poo-poo on Pelle Schmidt, who's the writer and the artist on his art. I mean, but he's not Bill Sienkiewicz. But it fits the tone of the story, which is very important to me. As a reader.
Yeah, it's a crime drama, and it's kind of a gritty kind of thing. For the most part, his characters stay the same size, and
it's consistency throughout. And it's an interesting.
Just over the bar.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story, and
I like the story a lot.
Has to do with witness protection, and then there's a mole in the police department, and the witness in question is missing, and they're trying to find him, and they're trying to find him. The mole is codenamed Stiletto, so they're trying to find out who
is Stiletto.
And that's basically the gist of the story, and the two detectives are trying to solve the mystery of who Stiletto is and find a witness before he gets killed. So
one guy seems to be a guy like the old trope where one guy seems to be an old all near retirement guy, and the other guy's kind of like the hip young detective. So that's kind of like the trope, and they're trying to do a twist on that. And I liked it enough. I'll read the second one.
Yeah, I liked it enough. I mean, I'm not a big police drama guy, but it was definitely interesting enough, and I'd like to see how the story pans out. And a well-told story, good well-developed characters, and the artwork fits it. I mean, like you said, it was definitely not a style that's for everyone, not your standard comic book, but it definitely fits the tone of the story.
Right. If you're a crime drama person, you'd put your money out for this. Would you put your money out for this, though?
Yeah.
You're really,
for sure.
Because it's fine.
If I was a crime drama person, I would say I'm not a big crime
it's
guy.
$5.99.
Yeah, I mean,
it has a
little
prestige
pricey.
cover. The inside is glossy, but it really shouldn't have to be. Get the quality up, you know.
Well, yeah, I mean, which kind of is a good segue for the next book,
Blood Realm.
Blood Realm, because we've talked
Volume
about this
2.
before.
Yeah, in fact,
Alterna Comics.
yeah, Robert Geronimo is going to be here April 6th, which is in just a few days. Signing autographs and talking about his book. So come on down to Port Jervis and Haven for Heroes at 34 Front Street. Shameless plug.
Yeah,
Sure,
well,
let's get
I
in.
mean, he's going to be here, and the book is definitely worth picking up. I mean, we reviewed another Alterna Comics last time I was here doing the reviews. They do the old school books. It's on newsprint, which not necessarily a bad thing. Plus, their books are only $1.50, so they're like
You throw a flyer at it. Like,
yeah, they're half price to what your normal rate is.
I would pay.
$3.99,
I would pay the $3.99 for this book. That's how much I like it.
I would too.
But that it's $1.50
Yeah.
all day long.
And you can afford to take chances on their books, just if it's a number one, if it's a new title. I mean, and if you don't like it, so you're out $1.50. It's not really that bad. And if you like it, well, then adding $1.50 a month to your comic pulls, not really going to hurt your wallet too much. You know, it's not too bad. It's a really fun story. I seem to be wearing the right shirt for it, Go Army, because it's basically set in an alternative world where there's a goat army.
Yeah.
Deals with a lot of supernatural, kind of like an alternate world. It's more like I'm getting to feel like a hellscape kind of thing. You know, like a kind of like an alternate kind of hell-like dimension. Really interesting art style, very very unique, cool.
Super unique. If you saw a drawing and no signature on it, you would absolutely know it was him. His style is his own. Remember when I talked about I don't like really crazy styles, and because they're so inconsistent. He's so consistent, just over and over, like
Very
page after page.
Clean lines.
Clean lines. Like the characters who are have names and they're particular. Like they're not just like they all look alike. They all look different, but they look the same. That character looks the same from beginning to end.
Yeah, they're unique in themselves, but they're consistent throughout the book, and it's just a fun read. It's dark. It's got a lot of action in it. Now, I haven't read the previous volume, and I feel like I don't really need to. I mean, I'd like to because I'm interested enough in this issue to want to see what happened before. But they really sets up the story in such a way where you don't have to read the previous one if you don't want to. Again, it's on newsprint. It's cheap. You can get the back issues fairly inexpensively. And I'm really interested in seeing more of what Alterna has to offer because, again, they're doing the old style. And being old guys, that's what we grew up on. All the comics were printed on newsprint.
As soon as I open it, I kind of get a little smile when I open it to the newsprint.
You get a little sense of nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean...
the other thing is that these books won't hold up as well. So, if you get a number one, that newsprint, you get it, if you're, going to be one of those people that are trying to make money on comics, these books will, if you take care of them, they'll stand the test of time. But others people won't. So it'll be a lot less in good condition. They're a small company, so there's a small print run, and they're super cheap to buy. I mean, and they have a 99-cent book too. They have a kids book that's 99 cents. Oh, and if your local comic shop doesn't carry Alterna, you can go to the Alterna.com website, alternacomics.com website, and you can purchase right there on their website. But first, take a chance out your local comic shop. That's how we stay open. That's how there is comics.
Sure. Buy the singles. That's the thing. The trade ranging. I mean, trades are all well and good, but that's how comic stores make their money. And really, that's if you like a series and you want to see it continue, the singles are the way to go because that's what puts money in the artist's pocket and keeps the publisher sane.
Right.
So
And if you can't make it out to
support
conventions, comic shops are the places that bring artists in to do signings, and they try to support the community, and then the community supports us back. So.
That's a good thing.
And that's again, yeah, we already said that's Robert Geronimo, and he's writing it in and art, and it's like you said, it's a really fun story.
Yeah, it's really good. Again, that's another thing from Alterna. We both would definitely recommend. Again, $1.50. Pick it up, take a chance.
Yep.
What do you got to lose?
I've read a bunch of their other books. We promised there's going to be an alternate issue of No Comics for Old Men coming up, where we're going to go through a bunch of their books. I made a big back order from them. So a lot of that whole first series is coming if they're not sold out, and some of their other books, and we'll be able to read a bunch.
Yeah, I want to read it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to reading it.
So Lady Death.
Just on to the last one, Lady Death. Some of you may remember, some of you may not. In the early '90s, Chaos Comics, headed by writer Brian Pulido, they kind of started the whole bad girl trend with Chaos
Which has
Comics.
not ended.
Well, no, but they
And everybody
kinda
has stolen
Yeah.
it.
But they were one of the pioneers. I
Yeah,
mean, Lady
absolutely.
Death, Purgatory, Chastity, and they kind of spearheaded that and stuff like Bill Tucci's She, London Night Studios, Razor, stuff like that, where the badass female anti-hero, anti-heroine,
Yeah.
again, big boobs, small outfit,
Yeah.
but
Super hot.
yeah, it was that kind of thing, and it's kind of continued. It's not like it's a new thing, but they kind of spearheaded it more.
That was the main part of the story.
Yeah, the more anti-hero, the darker.
Yeah.
It was a female main character, a lot darker, a lot bloodier, and this is it's a new comics imprint called Coffin Comics. If you probably don't recall, because it was a while ago, Chaos Comics went out of business. They went bankrupt. They had to sell off all character properties. And Brian Pulido, who was the creator of pretty much all their comics and the characters, and was the head of Chaos Comics, and sell off everything. And there was a few other companies that restarted them, but they never really did anything with any generated any kind of buzz with them. And recently he got the rights back to Lady Death and is starting a new comic imprint called Coffin Comics, and Lady Death is probably one of their first offerings. It's his main character that spearheaded everything, and I'm glad to just see that the original creator has the rights back to the book.
Right.
It's written, like I said, by Brian Pulido, and the art's by
Good luck.
I'm going to butcher his name, and I apologize. Diraj Verma. Artwork amazing.
Amazing.
Kind of like a painted style,
Yep.
almost photorealistic in the style. And if you've ever read any of the old Chaos comics, this kind of follows more suit. It was like they're always artwork's always been really, really well done. Great, great cover art, great interior art. Story, not bad. More about action.
Yeah.
Than really character development. But if you've liked any of the Chaos stuff before, and this is not a very far leap from it, you would definitely like it. I'll support it because I went to some conventions and met Brian Pulido, and the guy is all about the fans and stuff. So
The art is amazing.
Yeah, and the art's good. The story,
He finds great artists.
Yeah.
And the story holds.
It's
We're being really picky.
Yeah, it's a good kind of like typical comic story. You're not going to get, if you're looking for a really deep, in-depth, Watchmen type Alan Moore story, that's not for you. But if you want to be entertained, good action and amazing artwork, it's definitely a good book.
Really hot women. There's way more than one.
Yeah, the whole book is pretty much filled with hot chicks. So if that's your thing, then that's definitely the book for you.
There's a tad of nudity.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not too much. Not anything overboard. But.
Yeah, not too bad. Not when you get into the R-rated realm. Maybe like a hard PG-13.
Yeah.
With a concept,
But I think in comics, it like nudity period considers it now it's mature.
mature. Yeah, I don't know if I'd
Mature
go
reader.
the total mature reader. I mean,
The thing
there's
is
a lot
I always
of
thought
violence,
mature
but
reader had meant to like it's a complicated plot and they won't understand it.
Yeah.
That's what mature should mean.
That's
No, it
what
means
should mean, no,
there's films.
boobs. Yeah,
there's boobs.
That's basically mature readers. Okay,
This is a
someone's
boobs
topless.
book.
But I would like it's a 2-issue series, so I mean it's a little pricey. It's $4.99, but it's done on high quality paper, and the art alone is worth the price of admission. It's really well done, and like I said, if you like the Lady Death stuff before, they didn't really break the mold.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't break the mold on it. It's still basically the same kind of story. Mostly action and adventure, characterization. Yeah, you have the archetype characters,
Yeah.
and that's pretty much it. But still worth picking up, I think, if you have $5 to spare.
Yeah.
It's definitely entertaining movie for sure.
Now, some of the stuff that's coming out that has been coming out. What starts tomorrow is War of the Realms on Marvel.
Crossovers.
Yeah. And we've talked about this. Now, Marvel has had some unsuccessful crossovers.
Yeah, that Secret Empire was. I've read some
Civil
of that.
War.
I don't like. I'm not a big Marvel fan, but I don't like to see anything like tank or get bad reviews. But it's just the writing lazily done, and the whole ending with
the setup for this has been really good. The art on the new book, the cover is amazing.
Really, I have to check it out.
The only thing that's painful is there's 20
the tie-ins.
20 tie-in books that are like 3 issues long. So they're not even going to be an ongoing book. They didn't pick an ongoing book to do it in.
Yeah.
They picked there's going to be like a Spider-Man 3 issue and a
which is like that's
for subscribers, for people who I want to read all that.
It becomes very costly.
Yeah, very costly.
And that's my main complaint with any kind of crossovers. And we've said it before in a previous episode. When DC did the Dark Knight's Metal, they did. That's the way you should do a crossover. There was the 6 main books. There was I think 6 one-shots that those. So you bought maybe 8, 12 books top.
But you didn't need to buy all the one-shots unless you like the character.
Yeah, you could pick and choose, and you could still, you got the 6-issue main story, told the story, and if that's all you wanted, you got a good story, and if you wanted to pick up the side issues, you could, but even still, all the tie-ins and stuff, it was not even half of what Marvel's doing.
Yeah, but I think also Marvel is going to sprinkle stuff in all these books.
Yeah,
they're setting up the next move.
You know how I feel about crossovers.
Yeah.
I hate crossovers.
Well, the Infinity's over,
because
right?
it feels like a money grab to me. I didn't even I ignored that. It was like, how many times has the Infinity Gauntlet surfaced?
Right, but now that the movie thing is over, right? The Infinity System's going to end with Endgame.
Yeah.
This War of the Realms is setting up. I think is going to be setting up
the universe.
Some of the things that are going to happen in the future. They
might
want
be
to
interesting.
give some. They like to give support to the movies in the future. And then you get everybody gets to look back and go, oh, it was in that book and this book. And
I'll give it a try to see how it is. But again, like when I hear crossover, I immediately cringe. I'm not, I don't want to shell out the money. That being said, with the Infinity Gauntlet stuff, the last run that they did before this crossover, the aftermath of it, I've been reading Guardians of the Galaxy, the new one.
Yeah.
It's written by Donny Cates.
Donny Cates stuff.
The dude is just an amazing writer. He's done Baby Teeth for Aftershock.
Yeah.
He's doing Venom for Marvel, which is also a good read. He just he did Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Cosmic Ghost Rider was really it's sort of Deadpool.
It's out there. It's really weird, but definitely worth picking up. So that's something we maybe next episode to review. We'll give Marvel a little shout out here and there, because that's actually, and I'm a really hard ass when it comes to Marvel, and I like the books. So I think they're good.
DC is setting something up. I don't know if it's going to be another Crisis, but. So the Anti-Monitor and the Monitor's brother is appearing. I forget what they call him. He's in the new Superman issue.
Because the Doomsday Clock is really well done.
Yeah.
So
The only thing is that it's never going to end because it takes 3 months to get one issue.
that's the problem.
It's painful.
Yeah.
Painful.
I mean, that's it. It was like it took me a while to, like I was
Well, you
reading it,
didn't have
and then it was
to.
like I forgot it came. I forgot it came out. I
Right.
forgot about it because it came.
You could just
so
wait
much
the
so
year and a
loud.
half and then read all 12 at once
Yeah.
because they won't sell out because I'm sure they printed.
Which we already kind of tried to discourage that and buy the singles, but in that case, maybe you're better off buying the trades. If they come
But you
out
can
that-
still get the singles at the end, and maybe you can get them at a discount.
Yeah, that's true.
Number one has gone up to like doubled in price, but other than that,
It's definitely a solid story so far. It's just I think that's the problem. If you're going to be monthly, you're going to be bi-monthly. You got to be monthly or bi-monthly. It's just like I can't wait 4 months between issues because I'm old. I forget what I read.
and if you're somebody that wants to get into comics for an investment, now would be the time to sell your stuff. Like comics are on fire. They're on fire. If you want to buy stuff you think is going to happen. Like buy $3 first appearances.
You never know.
There's a ton of them out there of like different characters that have never really come to fruition or ended up in any of the movies.
That's true, and Marvel's mining a lot of their stuff for secondary characters.
Right.
Because they kind of brought to the fore mostly their major characters.
Right. If you're out there looking for first appearance of Venom, you're gonna pay up.
Yeah.
And they're gonna get about another 2 movies out of them. So maybe if you wanted to make like the first appearance, you're about $300 now or better,
Yeah,
depending on the
it's
condition.
Yeah, it's a little
Right.
pricey.
And in 2 more movies, are you gonna get that
Yeah,
money
yeah.
back? No, but they're talking about maybe his son, Dylan, is half symbiote. Right?
So that might be something. There
That
is,
character, that's like a $10 first appearance. You
There
might
is
want to
a
go out
new
and get that.
speculators market that's rising from all the movies
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff that was like.
It is
well,
on.
that also that tanked the industry almost in the '90s.
Absolutely,
because
because
all the
they're buying a
variant covers
case.
and everything.
Case
Yeah.
number 1 coming out. Order me a case.
Yeah, and that's what happens. It was like there was a glut, and when people didn't make the money, they stopped buying it.
Right.
So just be cautious. But there is, I mean, if you're in for money, there is money to be made, but you need to kind of have some kind of foresight
Right.
and see what they're developing. You never know, it might take off, might not.
There's some Silver Age stuff still that's really, I mean, in mid grades that you can buy really cheap. Just do your research. Know your artists. Know your first appearances. We did a whole thing on Key Collector app. That's a great app to have in your.
Yeah, that's a great starting point if you're looking
Yeah.
to collect as far as stuff that might be worth money. They're good. And they keep you like key issues.
Yeah.
It was like they'll tell you you don't have to go through a list of 200, 300 issues of Avengers. So they'll tell you here's the ones that are
You wanna
either
pull.
worth money or interesting. First appearance of this guy, first appearance of that guy, that kind of thing. So definitely worth checking out. But again, read comics for the story.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
that's
it was
what
like
you should
support
do.
the artists that are doing it and the writers that are doing it now, because you know what, there's a lot of quality stuff up there, and
Especially now.
there's something for everybody. You know, if you're not into superheroes, there's tons of books that you can get.
I found that,
nothing
like-
to do with capes and spandex.
Yeah, the superhero books from when we were young don't hold up for me.
a lot of
The
them.
war books and the horror books really do.
No, the horror books were really, really good.
Yeah.
I love all the old '70s Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
Like that's my like for Marvel. I
Tomb
don't
of
like so much
Dracula,
of the new stuff. Oh yeah, all the monsters
Werewolf by
Unleashed,
Night.
all that kind of stuff. It's still good. It's,
Late 70s, early 80s with the Moon Knight. That was a great
yeah,
series.
Yeah. Moon Knight's one of my favorites.
For DC, for
When
me,
it's
it was
done right.
it was always Sergeant Rock, and then
Yeah.
any like House of Mystery, House of Secrets.
Oh yeah, the old DC
Swamp
war
Thing.
comics were. That might be a good thing to do sometime later. Is do a little thing on the old.
Yes,
DC war
nobody's
comics.
reading war comics, man, and nobody's reading the war comics. But let me tell you what, those stories were
Yes, they
excellent.
were really well done.
We'll do a show on that. Keep reading comics.
That's it. Thanks.